So we have a question from inequalities and functions. So A says find the range of values of x for which that is less than 3x plus 14. So for A we have 2x squared being less than 3x plus 14. So anyway, we just like take it one side and just come up with an inequality in terms of 0. So we have negative 3x minus 14 less than 0. So we can just solve that inequality. Let's try to factorize. We see the product 2 times negative 14 is negative 28. The sum is negative 3, which is the middle part, and then the factors. What two numbers can you multiply to give us 28? I'm already thinking of 7. 7 times 4. Now if we are to add them and give us a negative, then we have to have a negative 7. Because negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. Negative 7 times 4 is negative 28. So we can now add the factors where we have negative 3x. So we have negative 7x plus 4x minus 14 less than 0. We can factorize now. So anything common there? I can see only x is common, so we have x and then 2 minus 7. Not actually, it's 2x actually, 2x minus 7. And then if we pull out a 2 there, we're going to have 2 into 4x is 2. Sorry, it's not 2. It's 2x actually. So 2x. And then into negative 14 it's 7. So we have x plus 2. And then 2x minus 7 less than 0. So factorize the inequality. This way it's easy to handle. So we can just now try to find the zeros to this inequality. So just equate whatever you have in the brackets to 0. So for the first one, x plus 2 equal to 0, x becomes negative 2. For the other part, 2x is equal to 7, x becomes 7 over 2. So these are the two zeros we have, negative 2 and 7 over 2. So let's come up with a number line and try to use it to determine our answer. Excuse me. So what do we have? So we have negative 2 on the negative side, and then we have 7 over 2. So if you don't understand 7 over 2, you can actually get to divide. You see that it's something like 3.5. So this is like 3 point something. Okay? Let's try the numbers in between. So I know there's a 0 in between since we've got negative and positive. So if we try a 0, where there's x, 0, 0. Here you're going to have a positive 2, there you're going to have a negative 7. So negative times positive gives us a negative, right? So is a negative less than 0? Because this inequality says less than 0. So it is true. This is true. And in most of the cases when that is true, all these other parts are going to refuse. Let's still try them out. A number less than negative 2 would be a negative 3, for example. So if you bring a negative 3 here, and a negative 3 there, for the first bracket I'm going to get a negative 1, and then here negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 minus 7, I'm going to get negative 11. So I have negative and negative. So negative times negative gives us a positive. A positive is greater than 0. So this part has refused, as predicted. The number greater than 3.5, we could just get a 4. So we get a 4 there, and a 4 there. Here we are going to have a 6, which is positive. We are going to have 4 times 2, which is 8, minus 7, which is also a positive. So we are going to get a positive, which is obviously not less than 0. So only the middle part has agreed. Therefore, our solution should be between negative 2 less than x less than 7 over 2. So if there was a dash on the below there indicating equality, would have put equal there as well. So that's how we end of the first question. For B, we need to complete the square. So what we have negative x squared plus 4x plus 6. So we just need to complete the square. So always let's ensure our coefficient there is a positive 1, right? So let's put the negative 1. So if we put the negative 1, we're going to have positive x squared, a negative 4x, negative 6. Okay, let's ignore the negative 1 for now. So we have x squared minus 4x. We can take 6 the other side, equal to 6. So we can now add the square of the half of bx. So what's the half of negative 4? It's negative 2. So add negative 2 squared both sides. So the bx part will disappear. So we're going to just get x and then minus 2 squared equal to the other side, negative 2 squared is 4. So the basic idea here is always there we ensure that our x is like positive. That's why we always leave it as x squared. So we have x minus 2 squared, and then of course that is equal to 10. 6 plus 4 is 10. So if it comes back the other side, it becomes negative 10 equal to 0. What do we have? Let's not forget we had a negative 1 outside, so we can just bring it back. Negative 1. Now I want it to be in the form of x squared. So the coefficient you need only to be where there is a square. So we can distribute the negative 1. So we have negative 1 and then x minus 2 squared. And then that negative multiplied by the negative 10 becomes positive 10 equal to 0. So it's now in that form. So at this point, the coordinates of the turning point equate whatever is in the brackets to 0. So x becomes 2. Y is that 10. So therefore it's 2 comma 10. You can even verify this by using the formula x is equal to negative b over 2m. Our negative of b is negative 4. Our a is negative 1. So that gives us a 2. To find the value of y, you can just substitute. So 6 plus 2 times 4 is 8 minus 2 squared. So 6 plus 8 is 14 minus 4, 10. Verify, this is correct.